Hong Kong, one of the world's major ports. Its name translates as fragrant harbour. Enclosed by the Pearl River Delta and South China Sea, much of the history of this special administrative region of China is built on the water that surrounds it. As a British colony in the 19th and 20th centuries, Hong Kong's free port established it as a global centre for trade. Today, as much business happens on land as at sea in the city's vast financial districts. And back under Chinese jurisdiction, Hong Kong remains an international trade hub. Domestically, business is also booming, and nothing compares to the Hong Kong Jockey Club, which last year turned over more than $12 billion. The man at the helm of this organisation is CEO Winfried Engelbrecht-Breskes.
I think we are a little bit more than only a racing club. If you look at the impact we have here in Hong Kong, it's around 1.7% of the GDP we generate. If one looks at our turnover, this year it will be around 170 billion. We are the biggest taxpayer in Hong Kong of around 17 billion this year. That's around 7 to 8% of the tax income. We are the biggest charity donor in Hong Kong, so this year we will have 2 billion charity donations. And last but not least, we are one of the biggest employers with around 5,700 full-time and 17,000, 18,000 part-time staff.
Following on from March's domestic showpiece, the Hong Kong Derby, next for the Jockey Club are their first two international races of the year, the Champions Mile and the QEII Cup. The QEII comes first, and it's an opportunity for Hong Kong's equine elite to lay down a marker to the rest of the world. William Nader is the club's executive director of racing.
They're big races. Both the Champions Mile and the QEII are ranked among the 50 top races in the world on the International Federation list of the world's top 50 Group 1 races. They're major races. They get international horses coming in. The competition's at a very high level. Big races to win on an international stage. And from the club standpoint, that's very important because we get the chance to showcase our best horses against the best horses overseas. And it becomes a mega event for us and as a benchmark to see how we stack up.
In last year's race, trainer John Moore claimed a remarkable fourth QE2 title by saddling winning horse Designs on Rome. The Irish thoroughbred, who moved to Hong Kong as a 3-year-old, also took the Hong Kong Derby in 2014 with Australian jockey Tommy Berry on board. With 3 Group 1 titles that season, the John Moore-trained gelding was crowned Hong Kong Horse of the Year.
Well, that's another big international day on the Hong Kong calendar, like December, with our 4 Group 1 races, where Hong Kong is the world focus all of a sudden. Everybody's watching what goes on here, but then it gives Hong Kong another chance to show the world that we have the quality horse flesh right here, and we can invite horses from all around other racing jurisdictions to make sure that that quality of horse flesh is maintained.
12 horses are entered for this year's QE2 Cup, which takes place at the Sha Tin course. As well as the reigning champ, John Moore also has Helene Happy World and Same Star running, giving him one of the strongest hands in the field. However, it's a New Zealand horse, Criterion, who's the pre-race favourite, while locally trained number 3, Blazing Speed, carries perhaps the most optimistic name in the field. Saddled by local trainer Tony Cruz, he has a lot to prove after recent outings. The QE2's most successful jockey is Douglas White, a 3-time winner.
The class of animal here at the moment would be able to qualify anywhere in the world. You know, we've got some of the best thoroughbreds, the best blood, the best trainers, jockeys, everything in Hong Kong. It's just quadrupled. And to be part of that is just fascinating.
Douglas White is a stalwart of Hong Kong racing, and the South African goes into this year's QE2 on Helene Superstar. However, all bets are off for reigning champion jockey Zac Purton as he suffers the worst possible timing for an injury, waking up on the morning of the big race with kidney stones. Instead of heading to the Sha Tin circuit, Purton heads straight to hospital. Having narrowly missed out on championships before due to this, the Australian knows what fine margins there are when it comes to racing in Hong Kong.
You know, you have to be terribly lucky to start with. Hong Kong's all about luck. If you're a lucky jockey, you're a lucky jockey. If you're not, then you can't get rides. It's as simple as that at times. But if you're not riding winners, it doesn't matter how well you're riding. If you're not riding winners, you can't get rides. Because, you know, the guys here are very good at what they do. And, you know, there's not a lot between, say, the top 5 or 6 jockeys.
Purton's loss is his rival's gain as the competition for this year's Audemars Piguet QEII Cup opens right up. Blazing Speed goes out of Gate 8. Joao Moreira is handed Gate 11 in his bid to steer Designs on Rome to becoming just the 2nd horse ever to win the Cup 2 years running. The race has a prize fund of 20 million Hong Kong dollars, and favourite Criterion is quick out of the stalls, but allows Same World to take the field into the backstretch ahead of him. At the turn for home, Same World's advantage is reduced as Criterion, Military Attack and Blazing Speed all look to make their move. Of the 3, it's Blazing Speed who kicks on hardest, and his pace is unrelenting. Wearing orange silks, Irish jockey Neil Callan finds more in Blazing Speed's tank than even he or trainer Tony Cruz could have expected, drawing clear for a decisive victory. The win over 2,000 metres is a maiden Group 1 triumph for Callan and a first QE2 Cup win for legendary trainer Cruz.